Here's another quick tip from Whole Latte Love.
If you've been considering getting into home espresso, but you're on a budget, today I'll go over a basic choice you'll need to make. Hi, Mark here from WholeLatteLove.com. So that choice is, should I go with a semi-automatic or a super automatic machine? Now, I'll cover entry-level, budget-conscious options for both types of machines that come in well under $500. Now, for reference, it's not uncommon to spend a whole latte more than that on a home espresso setup. And speaking of lattes, if you love them, in the long run, either type of machine is going to end up saving you a fortune over going out for a daily latte. In this video, we'll compare the DeLonghi Icona Semi-Auto paired with a Baratza Virtuoso burr grinder to a Gaggia Brera Super Automatic. The DeLonghi plus Baratza grinder is right around the same price as the Gaggia Brera with its built-in grinder. So the difference between semi and super automatic machines. Semi-automatics are the traditional type of espresso machine. You grind coffee fresh. So in addition to the machine, you'll want that grinder as well. Now, after grinding, you load a portafilter and attach it to the machine to extract espresso. When done, you remove the portafilter and knock out the spent coffee. Super automatics, on the other hand, are bean to cup. They have built-in grinders, so just push a button and the machine grinds whole beans and delivers finished espresso to your cup. In place of a portafilter, super autos use an internal brew group, which automates the brewing process for you. When brewing is complete, the spent coffee puck is deposited to a drag box within the machine. For creating frothed milk for lattes and cappuccinos, both types of machine use an auto frothing steam wand. But on most semi-autos, changing between brewing and steaming is more involved. After steaming on a semi-auto, the boiler needs to be cooled down manually. If you forget to, heating elements can be damaged. On super automatics, the cool down process happens automatically without user intervention. The major difference between the machine types is in the brewing process itself. Now, it's well known the best espresso is made on high-end semi-automatic machines, but it's a different story with low-cost entry-level semi-automatics. Most all of them use a pressurized filter basket. Pressure for brewing is the result of one tiny hole in the basket. In fact, when using a pressurized filter basket, tamping the coffee, that is compressing it in the portafilter, is not required. It's the basket that creates the pressure for brewing and not the coffee. In super automatic machines, pressure for brewing is created by the coffee puck, which is compressed by the brew group, just like a barista does on higher-end machines, except it's automated. Once the ground coffee is compressed, espresso is then brewed and exits through a screen with many holes instead of just one. So the reality, espresso brewing on a super auto more closely resembles the process of high-end semi-automatics than does brewing through the pressurized filter basket of a low-end semi-auto. So the brewing process is a little different on the machines, but is one process better than the other? Well, that's not an easy question to answer, but some consider pressurized baskets of low-cost semi-autos a cheat, a crema enhancer, if you will, that produces a visually pleasing shot that tastes good on the first sip, but may end a little bitter. Now, I paired the Baratza Virtuoso grinder with the DeLonghi machine because that's the way espresso should be made, with whole bean coffee ground fresh right before brewing. But you can go without the grinder and use pre-ground coffee, and many machines can use ESE pods as well. It's less expensive to start out with those, but don't expect the same shot quality you'd have if using fresh coffee. So which type of machine should you get? Well, if you're on a budget and looking for consistent convenience, it's hard to do better than a lower cost super automatic like the Gaggia Brera. On the other hand, an entry-level semi-auto will give you more of a barista type experience. As for espresso quality, a lot depends on the coffee used. If going without a grinder and using pre-ground or pods with a semi-auto, the super automatic is a clear winner as it's brewing from fresh ground beans. Quality is closer when using fresh ground coffee in both, but again, some users say those pressurized baskets tend to produce shots that finish on the bitter side. Frothing performance is similar on both types of machines, however it's slightly more involved on a semi-auto, as you may need to manually cool down the boiler after steaming. Now, keep in mind these are entry-level options to home espresso for those on a budget. The options presented are about the same in cost. Now, you can forego the grinder with a semi-auto and bring down the cost even more if you're okay with using pre-ground coffee or ESE pods. Of course, going that route decreases the quality of your espresso as well. So I'm Mark from WholeLatteLove.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll come back soon for more on everything coffee.
Hey, why not subscribe now for easy free access to more videos on everything coffee, brought to you by WholeLatteLove.com.
Here's another quick tip from Whole Latte Love.
If you've been considering getting into home espresso, but you're on a budget, today I'll go over a basic choice you'll need to make. Hi, Mark here from WholeLatteLove.com. So that choice is, should I go with a semi-automatic or a super automatic machine? Now, I'll cover entry-level, budget-conscious options for both types of machines that come in well under $500. Now, for reference, it's not uncommon to spend a whole latte more than that on a home espresso setup. And